everyone doing?
We're good.
We good.
Firstly, welcome to a new episode of She's in a Pod.
Welcome.
This is our second visual episode. So
it is. We're treating you guys, you know.
Exciting stuff.
We are.
It is. We're trying to be consistent with the content.
Yeah.
You know, got to be consistent out here.
Yep.
So, but yeah, how you guys doing?
We're good, thank you. Well, I'm good.
Yeah,
Charlotte's speaking on behalf.
I know everyone.
I'm all right. I'm blessed.
Yeah, I can't complain.
How's your week been?
How's this week been? It's been normal. It's just been a week. Nothing special except the horrendous weather.
Oh gosh,
the up and down, the heat wave to rain and gloom. But
it's mad.
You know, we
it's
move.
actually mad. It's all good.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I said, prefer it like this. I like to.
Yeah, I like it. Cool
it's
as
so
well.
hard to sleeping in that kind of heat.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
God.
awful.
The tossing and turning.
Literally, I've had my fan on for the whole day, the whole
Your
night.
electric bill.
But and this is the thing, but I need it on. If not, I'll actually suffocate.
Crazy.
It's
No, it's
just
crazy. I prefer
it's
to put
awful.
on the heating than actually to put on. And with fans, they just blow hot air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It just
that's
starts
what I
circulating hot
noticed,
after a
yeah.
while.
They
It's
blow
just hot air.
Oh, well, it's good to be back.
It is good.
Well,
to be
guys,
back.
this is our last episode of the season. It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Episode
season
20.
3.
I did not even.
Season 2 is coming to an end.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a good season. I've enjoyed it.
20 episodes in.
20 episodes.
Nah,
Yeah.
guys, if you've listened to all the episodes of season 2, you're
Shout
a
out to
real
you,
one.
MVP.
Yeah.
You are a real one.
Thank you so much.
'Cause, yeah,
It's been a journey.
It
Yeah,
has. It's been a
absolutely,
year.
yeah.
We started at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
The second season.
It's gone by so quick.
Well, yeah.
Like,
But so much has happened. It's
So,
been a
yeah.
long year.
yeah.
It's been a long year. But yeah, last episode now. So we're going to have a little bit of a break after this. But we won't keep you waiting for too long.
You're always
Don't
coming with
worry.
the content.
Yeah, we won't keep you waiting for too long. But yeah, let's get into the episode because time is against us. So this week's Oh My Pod, who's doing that?
I am. I didn't come too prepared, but this is something that I found out yesterday. I thought that was quite cool. I mean, I was quite shocked by it. But basically, for those who don't know, I work in the healthcare profession.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. And I have a lot of medical friends or friends who work as, various health professions. And one of my friends actually told me that at least 85% of us don't breathe through our nostrils at the same time. And I was like, are you being
What do
serious?
you mean as in breathe from our mouth and our nostrils at the same
No,
time?
forget about your mouth, your actual nostrils. So, you've got two, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has two.
One will be blocked.
Yeah, we don't breathe through at the same time. So sometimes if you put your finger underneath your nose,
I noticed that about me,
it doesn't blow out the air at the same time. At least 85%. I mean, the rest of some people, they do, if they force it out. But in general, like when you're not thinking, you breathe through one
nostril. No,
nostril
I've noticed
at
that
a
about me.
time.
But I thought, for me, I think also it's a sinus problem. I always thought it was a sinus issue. Like, because sometimes I would breathe and then literally the air's coming through one nostril.
Yeah, it's normal. It's very normal.
Really?
My
But
air's coming through both.
A lot are more profound than others.
Okay,
But,
maybe mine's more of a severe case.
But yeah, yesterday I was just putting my hand down. I was like,
yeah, no, I've noticed that for a while, some years
Yeah.
now, but I didn't know it was a common thing. I didn't know that.
It is 85%.
That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's very
Look
interesting.
at Jen coming with the healthcare facts.
Sometimes you need to educate
You gotta
a few
mix it up
people
a bit.
here.
See, she's in a pod. We're full of so much. We educate, we entertain,
I was
we
so
make you laugh, we
excited.
make you think, we make you smile.
We're just
Yeah.
all-rounders.
All-rounders,
yeah.
This is what you need in your life.
But yeah, that was my mini
that's
my
very
pod
interesting.
moment.
That's actually very
You
interesting.
learn something
I
new
like-
every day.
I like that in my pod. It was more of like an
little fact.
informative.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Fun
You need to
fact.
do that every now and again, ones that are full
Yeah.
of knowledge, you know? But anyways, let's get into this week's episode. I'm
I'm
laughing
looking
'cause
forward
I'm
to
just
this
like,
because
ooh.
I can't laugh. I feel like we're gonna need a part 2. But let's see how we
I
go.
think we will as well.
I just feel like there's
you know
just
this
too
is the
much
last
to cover.
episode of the season, right?
We're gonna have to figure it out.
just
Maybe a
dying.
bonus episode or something.
I'm just
We
dying.
gotta figure it out. But yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, go on, Shade.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was my suggestion actually because I just
Yeah, well, that's why I
thought,
said go on, Shade.
thought, as females, even males that have listened to this, we've all experienced heartbreak or some sort of cheating or some sort of ghosting on.
Yeah.
But even if you haven't, you know someone that has, right? So I just really wanted to get into it. I wanted us to maybe talk about our experiences, talk about what we learn, especially about healing after heartbreak, setting boundaries in relationships, things like that. I wanted us to free the real on this episode.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, so my first question to you guys is: have you both been cheated on before?
I haven't.
Okay.
Because I've not actually been in a relationship before to be cheated on.
I remember you told us that in a relationship versus situationship.
Yeah, I've been in situationships, unfortunately, but I've never been in a relationship. So.
Okay, my question is, what is cheating?
So to me, cheating is having sexual relationships with anyone other than your partner.
What, this is just physical or just like mental?
I disagree.
Well, like,
it can't just be physical.
Physical, yeah.
Like for me,
sexual relations doesn't have to be just physical. It can also be sexting, emotionally invested in someone else sexually. Just anything sexual with another person. So even flirting could come under that category as well.
Okay, so it's not. It doesn't always have to be like a physical.
No, absolutely not. Because
Yeah.
another thing is, whatever you can't do in front of your partner, I feel like you may not have cheated, but it's getting
there. My
there.
thing is, whatever your partner would deem as inappropriate, or you would deem as inappropriate for your partner doing to someone else, to me, it's cheating. So I feel like, obviously, there's the basis of cheating, which we all know is like having sex with someone else. But then I feel like when it comes, depending on the couple, they're gonna have their own additions to that, or have their own takeaways from whatever that is. So I feel like there's a basis, there's a foundation, but each person will have their own, and that also depends on what they've been through, what they've experienced themselves. Because their partner could be like, well, I don't think that's cheating. Someone else could be like, well, I kind of do. Yeah. So have I been cheated on? I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah.
As much as you can say. No pressure.
So I remember, this was years. How old was I? How old am I now? 27. So I was about 20.
Okay.
So I was in a relationship. I was in a relationship and a situationship because it was on and off for like 5 years straight. So the moments where we were together, there's moments where we were just, so it was a lot. But we were dating and stuff like that. And I remember this girl that I was friends with, and we were on the phone. We used to spend so much time together. We all knew each other because we were going like to the same church and stuff like that. And she was talking to me and she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to call him Harry, yeah? And she was like, oh yeah, like when I went out with Harry the other day. Bear in mind, she doesn't know that I'm dating him. So I haven't told her.
Right.
So literally, I am listening to her talk. Yeah. She's like, yeah, went out with Harry the other day. Went to cinema, he was touching me, feeling me up, doing this, doing that. So I'm like, tell me more. I'm like, as I'm sort of person,
even know what she was saying.
I want to collect all my, I want to know in it. So
how did you keep your cool in that? Like, tell me more.
I was just like, so
I feel like I would have erupted.
No. I was like, no. Me, I don't know. I don't know why.
It's the calm before the storm.
It's the calm before the storm, isn't it? So, and the thing is, she doesn't deserve any of that eruption because she doesn't know that he's dating someone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, okay, be fair. So I was like, cool. So she was telling me this, telling me that. I was like, okay, cool. So
you're better women than me because.
So then, obviously, I approached him about it. Obviously, he lied.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I knew this girl was telling the truth, and because of his history, just in regards to like, don't ask me why I was dating him in the first place, but he just wasn't a very trustworthy person in general. So it was like, I just knew she wasn't telling the truth. And because she had no reason to lie because she didn't know we were dating, she was so oblivious. And like, I did tell her at some point and she was like, wow, like it was a lot for her. But he was basically trying to, that's one thing I hate about when guys do that as well, like the whole gaslighting thing or the whole...
they make it sound
like the girl's crazy. So like he was like putting the blame on her and saying she was making up stories and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not fair because it's got nothing to do with her. Like it's got actually nothing to do with her. She's just coming to this. She went out with you and etc. She's the innocent one in this. Don't now drag her into it. Because then what that does is you're possibly causing a rift between me and her because it's like, oh yeah, you're telling lies on my man. I'm not that sort of girl. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and the thing is, he's come in between me and my friends before. So he's had a history with that where that's another issue, but he's had a history with that. So I knew he's lying. So, and then there'd be other circumstances where like I'd be at his house and whatever, and he'd be on the phone like 1-2 o'clock in the morning to other girls.
Oh, that's a no.
Yeah, like, and it was just like, bro,
the fact
I'm
that
right
he can
here.
do that in front of you.
Yeah, and I'm
what's
like,
he doing behind your back?
But this is it. So I'm like, bro, I'm literally right here. All right, hold on, Brent's talking to us right now. Yes, Brent.
Brent asked Bianca she wants a hug. I'm so done.
It's dramatic, man.
it was like, guys, that's like 5% of what I had to go through just bro, honestly. So no, he'd be on the phone to like, and I'm right there. Like, say, for example, yeah, he lived with his sister in it. So I spent a lot of time in his house. I'd like stay over because his mum lived in another country. His parents lived in another country. So I literally would stay over the house. So I'm there being a housewife, like cooking, doing all of this stuff. This is when I'm like 21, 22, young little girl. And yeah, he would just take the ultimate pee. And so yeah, eventually, like the last time ties were cut, I was like, Bianca, come and respect yourself now. Because it's a lot. Like it was 5 years of a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like it was too much.
That's a lot of,
it was too much.
So why didn't you leave? Like, I know you were young, you were probably attached, but you saw those signs, you kept seeing those signs. Why did you stay there?
A part of it is insecurity, isn't it? Like you're insecure. You feel like especially when history comes into it, like when you've invested so much into the relationship, you've invested so much into the person, you kind of feel like number one is
memories.
Yeah, exactly. So you feel, even though you're young at the time, there's this thing that we have. I don't know why. It's like the whole starting again thing. But it's like we have so much time to do that, but we feel like we can't. Then also the insecurity part of it is like you feel like, am I going to find someone else? Even if that person is not respecting you, you still feel like, am I going to find it? Like, am I going to get this again? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm here. I've invested 5 years worth or 4 years worth or how many years worth? Do you know what? And then also, we females bite into this whole fantasy thing a lot, where it's like we feel like if we have to struggle for a little bit, that there's the fairy tale that's going to come at the end, and that fairy tale does not come, sis. Listen, sometimes it comes. Like I've heard a few stories where afterwards, the guy, he betters himself.
And that's not my reality. I'm sorry.
That's not it.
And to all the women that have been in that situation where you've been through all the mess with a guy, he's messed you about, and then it's ended in a fairy tale. That's great, and I'm really glad it worked out for you. But that can never be my reality. Or anyone I love. Yeah,
exactly. So that's what you feel. You feel like, if I fight through this now, eventually it's going to be worth it.
It will pay off. And why do we always have to be the one that fights?
It's not. And that's why, guys,
why can't we just enjoy?
That's why I'm so adamant on this whole potential thing. I'm so, because I've been through it. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're like, let me stick around. This relationship has potential. This person has potential. And it never comes. You're there suffering.
Boy, similar thing happens to me,
really?
Bianca. Yeah. So mine was in uni in first year. So yeah, happened in first year. So we started going out just before first year uni. Don't know what I was thinking, having a boyfriend going to first year. That was never going to work. I was in uni, he was in another uni, not too far, both in the Midlands anyway. And then I just started to hear stuff like, oh, let's call him Jack. I started to hear stuff that, Jack is after motives in his uni. He's always with this one girl. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I just started to hear more and more stories. And then as I was hearing these stories, I was like, okay, cool, you guys are doing a lot of talking, but let me see some proof.
Was this from your girls? Or?
This was from, my girls and then some other people as well.
Okay.
Even from my girl, I was still like, girl, give me some proof. I need proof. I need hard study proof again, because I was just in denial.
Yeah.
I would ask him about it. Of course you denied. He denied, to the point where I even started doubting myself.
Listen, and they lie with him, they'll swear on their mum's life. Like, they will swear on their mum's life.
He was like, no, Shade, I would never do that.
Oh my gosh.
What is wrong with you? Don't you see your girls are hating? They're just jealous.
Wow.
To the point where, again, that it did cause, so you know how with your friends, it almost caused rifts, like you said. With me, it did, to the point where me and my friend, like, the girl that was telling me, we stopped talking for a while, and we had, it was a big deal. We've only recently really just repaired our relationship.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, it came between my friendships. It was lonely because all the clues were right in front of me, and people could see that I knew it deep down, but I just didn't want to accept it.
Yeah.
People were telling me. So for example, a prime example of this whole cheating facade was on Valentine's Day. And on Valentine's Day, the least you're going to do is give me a call. Let's go out. Let's do something. Like, we're both students. I'm not expecting you to take me to the Shards. But like the least I would expect is, okay, let's just go out to eat. Let's just go to Pizza Express. Happy Valentine's Day, babe. Card, whatever.
Or at least come around, watch a film.
Literally, we could actually do takeaway things. I could have made, jollof rice or something. Just something cute, chilled. This guy told me he had coursework
Oh, mad.
Really?
He was with another girl. You're mad.
Yeah.
He told me he had coursework. My thing was, so is it today you're finding about the coursework, or is it tomorrow that is due, or was it last?
No, it's
because
true.
my thing is, why is it on
true.
Valentine's? Because he's never ever told me that before. So why is it on Valentine's Day that you're coming up with coursework?
I can tell you now. From 2 months prior, he promised another girl.
Absolutely. And then I found out he was with that girl.
Yeah, there we go.
Then also, I used to just pre her. Also, preing is of the devil, guys, but let's not get into that. So I used to pre.
It does more harm than it does good.
Yeah. But I used to go on her Twitter because I found out who the girl was, which was later found out as true. May, I was doing my inspections. I was doing everything I needed to do because her, baby, I was, you know when you're young. So, okay, I'm jumping the gun. Let me go to what I found. So I went on her Twitter and then she was pasting like the monkey emoji. You know, the monkey covered eyes emoji. Like, I've never felt realness like this before.
Gosh.
All of this, all of that. He used to like her tweets. I was just like, wow, Jack, is this what we're doing? I would pull up, literally screenshot, I'd be like, what this about? Be like, I don't know. You're moving mad. Why are you exaggerating? What's wrong with you? Shada, you know, I never do that. To the point where I was literally... To the point where I started doubting myself. Yeah. I was just like, wow, am I going mad? Is there actually something wrong with me? But anyways, so I later found out it was true. He had indeed cheated on me for the whole of first year. He was the whole time he was cheating on me. And it was so traumatic because that was my first. It was my first like proper, boyfriend. And in my head, we were going to get married because why else am I in a relationship with you? Yes, I was only 19, 18 at the time, but in my head, we were going all the way. We were going to get married. So that was, that experience humbled me.
I hear that.
Humbled me. So that was my...
I am so glad.
That was my experience.
I have not been cheated on because the way you guys are talking about your
girl, it's not nice. You literally feel like your heart is actually breaking.
Do you know what's so funny? Yeah, I'll tell this story. I don't mind telling it now, because I have no shame.
No shame, man.
No shame. Let me have a Harry, bro. So basically, he had gone away for a week. He went away for like a year or something like that to another country. And during the time that he was away, I think it was the most that he had ever tried. It didn't last long, but it was the most that he had ever tried to be involved. When I was, he would message me every morning, just nice message, like all that kind of stuff. My birthday, he'd send me cards, all that gifts and stuff like that. And then I was just like to myself, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, this is long. This was one of the many times we broke up, by the way. So.
Oh wait, sorry. Is it the same
person? Harry.
Person. Oh,
yeah,
Harry. Okay.
Cool. Harry, brother Harry. Yeah. So I broke up with him. I remember I broke up with him, and then he was looking to come. He was coming back. It was getting close to the time that he was coming back to the UK. So we hadn't spoken about, and he messaged me, hollered at me, basically saying he wants another chance, etc., etc. So I was like, listen, we'll see. Like, so he came back, we were hanging out, but we weren't together, and it wasn't a thing where I was like, we were hanging out, so it was more of a like situationship. What had happened is that while he was away, he would always ask me about this other guy and ask me if me and this guy had done anything. The answer was no, and that was the truth.
Yeah.
What had happened was me and this guy had ended up doing a thing literally just as Harry was coming back to the UK.
Right.
So what happened was one day, I'm hanging out with Harry at my house. Again, we're not together or anything like that. I don't owe you anything. That's one thing.
But you've made it clear as well.
I've made it so
right,
so
between both of you.
we know he knew we weren't together. It was just the thing. So very clear.
Okay.
So he shouldn't have been asking you those questions.
But no, listen to this though. So I'm sleeping. This brother goes through my phone when I'm sleeping. Wait,
you still had your passport?
He knew it was my birthday. So he just honestly went through my phone. He went through my phone. And saw the messages of me and the person. And obviously we were talking about what had happened.
Yeah.
And he was... So I'm sleeping, I wake up and I literally see him like this on the floor, He's like, Bianca, why did you lie to me? Why did you lie? I'm like, okay, wait, what's going on? I'm so frazzled because I just
never heard a guy go through someone's phone.
I've had that. I have had that.
So I was like, what's going on? This is like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. We're arguing in my house. My siblings are there. Like, then he's basically threatening to leave the house. I'm like, where are you going at this time in the morning? At this time, he didn't drive. He drives now. I'm like, where are you going? The stations are closed. You're not getting Uber.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? He was walking. I'm literally chasing him down the road in my dressing gown. Like, just come back in the house. You're doing the most. But I remember, so that day I got up and I went to church, and he basically stayed in my house all day in bed, like acting like he was depressed. And I was like, this is very mad, because when you get hurt a smidge, I haven't even cheated on you. We are not together. The whole world has to stop. I've killed your mum. Yeah. But when it's us and it's actually in a committed relationship, it's like, it's not that. It's all the gaslighting and stuff like that.
And this is the thing. So there's this myth that they say that women cheating is worse than a man cheating. What do you lot think about that? Because guys are convinced that this is true.
Do you know what? I think it's because, maybe, I don't condone it, but I think the reason why they think that is because more men cheat on women. Yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how it's come out. So when they now get cheated on, it's like, oh my gosh, wait, how could she do that? Like me, a whole type of thing.
Yeah, like this isn't normal. This is out of the norm.
It's not normal. So I think that's probably why they get so hurt. Not realizing that this is what women face like on a daily basis.
There's a few things to it. I think one of it is man pride.
Yeah, pride.
Yeah,
is
one of it is man pride. Number two, a lot. I don't know if I get to a point. I haven't come to a point yet where I fully agree with this, but a lot of people say that it's worse when a woman does it because there's probably an emotional aspect to it, an emotional attachment to it. And obviously they feel like for men, sex is just sex, yeah? Well, obviously we don't see it like that, but their thing is they're sexual beings, we're emotional beings. So there's got to be some sort of emotional attachment there.
And you know what? It's true.
I agree with that, but I don't know if that's the case if a woman cheats. I can't say that's the case, but I understand why they'd think like that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I feel like my hair's stuck again. This bread, do you see? My hair keeps getting stuck on these leaves. But anyways, I feel like that's why. And then also it's a man pride thing. It's just a man pride thing. Ego.
No guy wants to say, "Oh, I've been cheated on by women."
They couldn't even bear a smidge of the pain that we as women have been through. It's like when they get sick.
No, the whole world everything stops around them, and the whole a man not being able to deal with it. Totally agree, sis. So like I've met guys who have had a girl cheat on them when they were 15 years old. 10 years on, they're still carrying that pain. Yeah, they're still, other women are now suffering
because
they're projecting. They're projecting their hurts, their insecurities onto a girl who's got nothing to do with the situation. You haven't healed after 10 years, and now we have to.
But can I be devil's advocate though?
Yeah, go on.
Women do that a lot too.
We harbour stuff as well.
We do. A lot of women make men suffer because of what another man has done in.
True, but I feel like with men it's worse, and I feel like for some reason for them it hurts deeper. I feel like we bounce back. We give ourselves more of a chance of love. Yeah. Brent, are you sure you don't want to come and join us? I feel like, is he coming? He's coming. I feel like that's. I don't know. Yeah. We give ourselves more of an opportunity to bounce back. Like, even when we're hurt, we give ourselves a smidget of us that has hope still. With man, it's like, every guy's a waste guy, every she's a waste cadet. We still have the element of hope. We're like, oh yeah, no, he'll change.
So, Brent, what do you think? If you were to have an opinion? Yeah. Look at his face, guys. You can see Brent's face right now, yeah. Do you think it's worse, or would you feel like hurts more? Or do you think it's worse, a man cheating or a woman cheating? Because we were talking about how women, it's apparently when women cheat, there's more of an emotional connection, whereas with men, because they're just sexual beings, it's more just physical. What do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, rather?
My goodness. Okay.
Put him on the spot there.
I'm looking forward to this. Because it's an age-old trope, isn't it? Technically, women, for the longest while, they didn't venture out into the world because they weren't allowed to venture out into the world. So they had a particular role. And man was allowed to do whatever it is that he wanted to do because he brought the meat home.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
So the question was, which hurts more?
Yeah.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because I know that if it is I cheat on my wife, only because I assume that my wife is going to be my equal, it will break her.
Yeah.
It will finish her.
Yeah.
Because everything that she would have known of me in the run-up, that wouldn't have been the outcome at all. So it would finish her. As a standard, as a standard, I believe that the majority of women believe that men can't be saved, right? They believe that men are base human beings and every man is at some point in time going to cheat as a rule of thumb.
I think that's sorry to say. I do, you know.
Okay.
I feel like if they haven't got out of their system, they will one day. That's just how I think about it.
Okay.
So they're posed with this, all right, if everyone's going to cheat, let me just get the best one that I kind of want to spend the rest of my life with.
That's interesting.
I think it's a sick stance to have, but it's where we are. So I would have spent a lot of time trying to erase that from my potential wife's mind. So for me to get her from this place to this place and then to just cheat, would shatter her even more than if it is I didn't even do that process. So for me, I believe it would hurt her more than her cheating would hurt me.
Really?
Wow.
More than
I was about to ask you if the script was flipped. How do you think you'd process that? If this is your wife, your life partner, and she cheated?
All right. So I think I was asked this on the last episode of Meet Us After 7.
Okay.
I can't imagine it. I can't conceptualize me being in a relationship with a woman who she's made a pact before God. Just like I've made a pact before God.
Yeah.
She's not only accountable to me, she's got accountable to a higher entity.
I love this.
Me, I'm a flawed human being. I'm susceptible to
it's true.
mistakes and whatnot. But once it is that she makes that pact to God and she breaks that for me is punishment enough for her. I mean,
really?
I can't like countenance like seeing that break as mendable.
Really?
For us.
You could have come back from that.
Because she's broken it with God.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
deep.
interesting.
That's deep.
That's
I like that.
interesting.
I like that perspective.
But then do you not feel like if she's broken it with God, if God himself, if we see someone as God himself who forgives and gives grace, I know we're humans, so we're flawed, so it's more of a process for us in regards to forgiveness. But do you not feel like if that is, if you want to be a reflection of God, that you'd have to extend that same grace?
I would like God to show me how it's possible.
No, seriously, because it's not
easy.
God is omnipresent. He's this being that, you know, sees it all, unconditionally loves us, even when we sin continually. I don't know if I can do that. I'm sorry. If someone
I don't know because but then we're talking about making a covenant before God and etc. But then when we even look at the vows itself of marriage, for better or for worse, that's a lot. Those words carry a lot. They carry a lot of weight. So for me, I don't know if I know I'm the sort of person who couldn't get past that. I don't know if I'd even make those vows in the first place, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what's the point of making those vows if when it comes to the hard nitty-gritty stuff, I can't commit to making this work. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I wouldn't even put myself in that position. So I don't know. That's why I talk about, guys, I don't know about marriage for me. I love it and I love the idea of it, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's a lot of weight and responsibility of marriage and relationships.
I've heard of, women in the Nigerian culture. I'm Nigerian. And a lot of them know that their husbands are cheating. Like they are aware, they have the children, but they're comfortable because they're just like, do you know what? He's providing for me, my family. Let me just face my front and do his thing. But then they might say, just make sure you don't get her pregnant. Make sure no one comes and embarrasses me. They just live with it. It's so mad. Like,
Jamaica's a very
common. Don't just leave your ass, mate.
Caribbean is different. But the thing is, it depends because like my parents were born in the UK. Just what I'm saying. It's my grandparents that were born. And my grandma, she got a divorce. Even though she grew up in the church and it was more, at the time she was growing up and was younger, it was looked down on divorce and stuff like that. But she still went and got a divorce. And my mum God rest her soul, she divorced my dad. Eventually, she was like, "This is too much." Like the first time my dad did what he did and did his nonsense, she was like, "Cool." That was like 10 years into the marriage. They still had another 17 years of marriage, and it was a consistent thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, she was like, "Cool. I've tried this. The kids were young at the time. I had to see it out for the kids, and I've tried to work on it. Now I need to get the heck out of here." Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen couples where someone has cheated and then they've worked through it and they were better than they were even before. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense because there's always going to be that crack in the relationships. There is, but it seems like they've worked extra hard to make sure communication is good, to make sure all of these things are, you know, at a good level so that something like that cannot happen again. Because there's always, it's not justifiable, but there's always reasons why that door is slightly open. So if that, go on.
I hear that.
Go over it.
It's beautiful when it's seen on TV and whatnot, right? But I believe those situations are when it is people run into relationships, not knowing each other fully, and then they do something.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
I am not going to just be willy-nilly jumping into a relationship.
Okay, yeah.
I would
take time,
get to know this person
properly
before this institution is actually run through. So for us to be so intimate with our communication, and for you to know that I would rather you tell me when it is something's going awry, so that I could look to fix it, or if it is that you have changed your mind, you still let me know. I'd rather you do that than to you don't communicate and then go and do something like that. So, cool, kudos, wonderful. But that's not going to be happening with me. So
that's the thing. I don't think it works for everyone. Because that takes strength. It's a different kind of strength.
Definitely.
It does. It honestly does.
I don't think I could see past that.
Yeah.
And there's for a lot of women, maybe not women, but men and women, it's not only what they have to deal with in the relationship. A lot of people have had to deal with embarrassment, especially if it's something public. That's a whole nother different pain to deal with because you're not going through what you're going through in private. You're going through it in public, and that. Yeah, I've seen women up close and personal, and it's like it breaks them. Do you know what I mean? So with men, we were talking about men though, and how for them, this is assumption by the way, just throwing things out there. When a woman cheats,
an interesting podcast.
A woman cheats, it's a lot of, I'm not saying a lot of the pain, but some of it has to do with man pride, ego. Just how, you know, how they feel as a man. Like, you know, these things aren't supposed to happen to me. I'm a man. Do you know what I mean? I think when it's a woman, it's like, even, it's not more expected. Well, kind of is. But it's not like you embrace it because you're a woman. But I think because it's more known, it's more common. You know what I mean? But I think for men, there's a thing where when their pride is hurt, oh my gosh, it's like the whole world has to stop. Honestly, the whole world has to stop. Do you feel like you deal with that man pride?
In a sense, yes. Probably not from the same perspective.
Okay.
I probably judge myself harsher than any other man would judge me because I couldn't care less about the validation of any other man or the gaze of any other man. I hold myself up to a higher standard. How can I answer this question if it is I am not in that bracket? With the men that I know, not as in best friends, through business
and life.
So he says,
it is literally an ego thing. Because they are so used to being the arbiter of the sword and the spear, they've been the one to perpetrating said thing. Impossible. How dare you even look to come through and give me that same energy?
Gosh.
I am
the double standard is mad.
I am the criminal. I am not the victim.
Wow.
So,
no, but that's it. It's actually, that is actually it.
Yeah. I can't go back to my friends and they hear that like a mere mortal woman has these stripes on me. Impossible. So yes, they are slaves to their own wickedness.
That's crazy. That's interesting.
I do have a question for you, Brent.
A question that I'm going to answer now.
Oh, absolutely. Why do men ghost?
Oh yeah, That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a deeper and
Brent said talking on behalf of all men.
No, because I need to understand. I genuinely do not understand the concept. Let me give you a brief context so that you can. So it happened to me only last year. A guy messaged me on LinkedIn in September.
Oh, LinkedIn, wow.
LinkedIn, they've moved to LinkedIn. Sis. No longer Instagram.
Wow.
LinkedIn. Very innocent, very normal, talking about work and stuff. Then it got intimate quite quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly, actually. And then we were talking. He was giving me advice. Very nice guy. We even did life coaching together. It was like a proper thing. Then, just before my birthday party, my 25th birthday party, he said he was going to come and everything. He just ghosted.
As in nothing. Yeah.
As in, I didn't hear him. It was weird. There were some red flags that I used to see. Stuff like he would delete our WhatsApp messages on my phone. I know, guys. I was dumb. I know. He would delete our WhatsApp messages, maybe trying to hide something or whatever. But at the same time, he was very open with me and told me a lot about his life. So I was thinking, okay, cool. We've got something good going here. Then he just ghosted. Up till this day, I have not heard him. Please, I want to know the reasons why men do that.
Well, I want to know, have you ever ghosted a girl, Brent? Have you ever just disappeared on a young lady?
No.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. You're just taking my word for it, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, true. Yeah,
it's true.
So true.
But you know what?
Just believe in him.
Just the vibes that you give off, I would hope that you would be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You seem like a upstanding young man.
100%.
So yeah, what do you think about what Charlie
that
said?
example, I think both women either side, you know why is that like he didn't respond. You're asking me why he didn't respond.
Why? I don't know why.
You don't know why.
No.
Alright, so
Go on, Brent, say it.
No, I want Brent to talk first, and I'll see.
Maybe I'm naive.
you met a guy. He gave you what you needed to lower your barriers, right? He said he was very open, communicative, and whatnot.
I feel triggered.
Oh my God, this is therapy session.
No, it is. It honestly is.
Wow.
You said it got intimate very quickly, cool, and then he started deleting like evidence that you all knew each other from your phone and whatnot.
Oh yeah, by the way, he would never really WhatsApp me. He'd always be like, I only talk on the phone.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Okay.
He doesn't want to leave traces.
Cool. So,
I was taken for idiots.
Now you're thinking about it.
Wow.
So whatever was happening on the other end,
On his side, yeah.
It was more important
Mm-hmm.
to further that than what he was doing with you, basically. So, goodbye.
Yeah.
Why? But because he seemed so mature, he was older than me. Why wouldn't he just have that conversation? Why would he just disappear?
Age first.
Sometimes it's easier to disappear.
Should never be involved.
For them.
Brent wants to tell us that he's 45, so we have to believe him.
So I asked you if it is that you wanted like the truth from me.
Oh no, I want to know the truth. Yes, please, nothing but.
Because you did ask me a question before, and I wasn't really honest. You know.
What question is
You just asked me what my age was, and I said what I said.
Yeah, but I don't believe you.
Good.
I don't believe you.
Oh.
'Cause you don't, I mean,
no
even
way.
the way you look, there's no way.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no way. Even though black don't crack, but
I know. I was just gonna say that. No, this black is different.
Okay, no, but I agree with Brent though, and I think whatever reason he was messaging you for, it was for a temporary thrill.
Yeah.
It wasn't for anything that had any. He wasn't thinking, "Oh, this is
Long term.
longevity." Long
Yeah.
term. You know what I'm saying? So even the fact that of how quickly it got intimate, that's always a sign as well for me. Anyways, like when things rise, when things rise quickly, most likely they're gonna fall very quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it was so out of character, but something from him brought that out.
And then also, I feel like with
strange.
females, we feel like we know guys. We feel like, oh, just because a guy's open up to us, it's been 2 weeks, and we're like, yeah, like I feel like we put like Brent was saying, we put our barriers down so quickly, thinking we know him. We know absolutely nothing about this man. We just know what he is allowing us to know. And a lot of that could be allowance. A lot of it could be complete lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we have to be a bit more guarded.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we have to be blocked. You know what I mean? Yeah, take your time, because like I said, if it's risen quickly, it will fall very quickly. So that's not a surprise at all. It's not a surprise. Yeah. But it's interesting. Brent, you've got a lot of wisdom.
You do.
You do.
Man of few words, but very wise.
No, you got a lot of
seriously.
you got a little wisdom. You have. But, okay, cool. let's finish our episode.
Yes.
Let's do the She's All That.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Thank you
so
for
much.
this all cameo.
Thanks for that. No, it was good. It was actually good.
Thank you.
She's All That. It's me, isn't it?
It
You're
is
doing
you.
it. Cool.
She's
Go
all
ahead,
there.
Bianca.
Okay, cool. Do you know what?
Should I give a quick intro to She's All That?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
So She's All That, for those of you that may not know, for our first time listeners, is a segment where we big up a woman. As you know, we're all about female empowerment, evolving, becoming
That's
bosses
right.
in our own right.
Mhm.
So how better
Come
to
and
do
see this,
that?
guys. I'm trying to move
You're
forward.
so oh
Oh
my gosh.
gosh.
It's all the thread. But yeah, what better way to do this than to celebrate a woman in all our episodes?
Yeah.
So yeah, Bianca's gonna do our She's All That for
Do you
this
know what,
week
yeah?
before we
I was
round
actually
up.
thinking about She's All That. I was initially I might just do two.
Okay.
Because one of them is Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris has been Joe Biden's pick for vice president. Joe Biden is running against Donald Trump for president. For president for this coming term, which I think elections are in like November. So
Yeah.
he'd be elected. He'd be in whoever the president is. They'd be instated in January. That's when their term would start, I believe. So yeah, Joe Biden is running. He was, if you don't know Joe Biden, he was vice president for Barack Obama. He's chosen Kamala Harris, who's a black woman. I think she's born a white man and a black lady. I think I could be wrong, or vice versa. And yeah, she's going to be the first, I think, female vice president. Actually, I'm
Female
sure.
vice president?
I
I don't actually know too much.
I'm sure, but she's making history somehow. Well, the first black female vice president.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just shout out to her. Obviously, a lot of people have opinions about Kamala.
It's a lot of controversy.
Yeah, a lot of controversy in regards to.
Mm.
She's been DA. She's been DA for district attorney for California.
District attorney.
Yeah,
I just love that word.
district attorney for California, and I
Yeah.
think she's had she went to Howard University, which is a HBCU black college. And so big ups to her for making history. I may not agree with everything she does,
Yeah.
but I have to say big ups to her. Then my second She's All That is a group of women. Have you guys watched Jeffrey Epstein's?
I have.
haven't
It's
watched it.
dark.
Girl.
sis.
Yeah.
I have.
Girl, I watched the
had a
Netflix
chance.
one. I know they just released the Surviving Jeffrey Epstein. The same people that did the Surviving R. Kelly, they've released that now, which is
Okay.
on,
Okay, I haven't
online.
seen that. Yeah,
I
I
think it's
haven't
on,
seen
you
that.
can find
Yeah.
it on like Mr. World premiere.
Okay.
But I watched the Netflix one a couple of weeks ago. It's crazy. So I think my She's All That has to definitely be all his survivors.
All the survivors.
Because obviously it's just been a very crazy case. I feel like I'm watching How to Get Away with Murder. That's what it feels like. It's
Yeah.
so
I feel like this is real life as well.
It's
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
scary. Yeah.
It's scary and it's just very
He
surreal.
literally groomed them from
And
young.
just the ins and outs of how much like money and power.
Mhm.
It's just crazy. So
the abuse of power.
I'm shout out to them because the women, they were like young. They were 14, 15. They're grown women now.
Yeah.
But this happened in the 80s, 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And oh boy. The issue is that like they finally thought they were getting justice last year and then he died.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do air quotes because everyone's speculating how he died, whether it was really suicide or whether it was
Yeah.
a killing, a hit, or whatever it was. But, you know, from watching the documentary, you can see that it's just broken their heart that he's even dead because now, once again, he's escaped accountability.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a horrible process to go through when you're in and out of court, you're in all of these logistics and, you know, it's a lot, you know, papers and going to this lawyer, that lawyer. I can imagine the process that they've been going through for almost 20 years. Like, it's a long time to actually go through something like that.
Yeah.
So I have to actually give a shout out to all of his survivors. I know this is still something that's ongoing because now Ghislaine Maxwell, his partner, she was just arrested last month in July because she was his partner in crime with everything that was going on. So I know it's going to be an ongoing thing, an ongoing investigation. And I just think it's torturous having to be the victim and having to go through that for like
so long,
almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then you finally feel like you're getting to the end and then something happens. So just a shout out to all his victims and to anyone that's been a victim of something like that, grooming or anything like that, sexual abuse, and that's had to go through that, whether you've come out and said something or not. The whole like court system, you know, it's even I May Destroy You kind of shows how like the police treatment and treatment from the government or law authorities of victims. So yeah, just have to give a shout out to them and to anyone that's been in a circumstance like that. It's a very eye-opening documentary, so I would definitely suggest you guys watch it.
That's a really
as well.
good one.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
But so just before we round up, girls, to our listeners who might have just been ghosted on, like I was.
Oh, girl.
Or they've gone through heartbreak, or they know someone that has. What advice would you give So heartbroken. Never had enough. I wanted to harmonize. I didn't start.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so Jen, do you want to just a piece of advice
do I have for someone who's been ghosted? I mean,
or has gone through heartbreak, or they're healing because of a bad relationship, anything like that?
Like I said, I've not been in a relationship, but I have been in situations. So I had situationship. So I have been heartbroken before, but I would say it's not the end of the world. Although in the moment it does feel like it.
Does.
Just know that it's not, and you will find someone who is, for you and who will treat you well.
Yeah.
And also, try and go out with your friends and get your mind off it.
Productive distractions.
Yes, not other types of distractions. Yeah.
Girl.
Been there, done that.
No.
It was not good.
Yeah.
What about you, Sade?
So for me, I would say please distract yourself by doing what you love. Surround yourself with your friends. Talk to people. Because if not, you're going to be alone in your thoughts. And you're going to do crazy things.
100%.
Don't fall for temptation, because I feel like right after heartbreak,
you're more vulnerable.
You're more vulnerable. You just want to be loved again. You start blaming yourself. So you start to seek validation in things you should not be seeking validation in. So my thing is, look after yourself. Just enjoy your company. You will find someone better. If it's rather someone better will find you. It's not the end of the world, trust me. Like, for all the disrespect you've endured, for all the heartbreaks, all the lies, there will be someone that will treat you so right, that will make you just think, wow, so it's actually possible for me to be, loved and valued and respected.
Feel like this,
So it will happen in due time.
It will. What do I have to say? Girl.
I'm really intrigued to hear what Bianca's going to say.
Girl, I don't know. Okay, so first of all, I'm not going to use certain language on here, but you are that bee. Okay. You're that girl. You're that girl.
Know what you mean.
You're that woman. Okay. First of all, keep your cool. Okay. No man is worth you losing your cool, losing your temper over, bringing you out of character. Like no man is worth that at all. So don't go and be like this whole I bust the windows. Don't come with down with that energy. Okay. So that's the first thing I would say. If you have you found yourself in that position as of recently. Even recently I was telling you guys how I just blocked and deleted someone. I'm like, I'm at that age now. I don't even have the energy to entertain or tell you what you've done wrong. I shouldn't have to be babysitting you. No. So,
and it's down to knowing your worth, because until you know your worth, sis, you're still going to be fighting for that guy's attention. You're going to be going to beef other girls that he's doing things, and no guy's ever worth that.
It's not. And sometimes
you're worth so much more.
For me, at this point in my life, value has trumped history and investment. I don't actually care now. Yeah, it hurts because obviously it's like, you've invested so much, you've, put so much into it. But at that point, it's like, no, Bianca, like, no matter how much time or how much effort you invested in this is not worth it. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth your energy.
And you deserve better.
Exactly. So, like, I told you guys, when I blocked and deleted someone and they messaged me on another platform, was like, oh, yeah, I tried to message you to get through. I was like, yeah, because I deleted and blocked you. And then I deleted and blocked him on that as well. So, it's not no long, it's period. So, I would say that energy is really important, what you give your energy to. Because the thing that you give your energy to the most is the thing you're going to be thinking about. It's going to consume you the most. I know it's hard to say, it's easier said than done.
That's why the Bible says guard your heart.
Yeah.
Because your heart is so precious, and what we let in exudes from every single part of us.
Exactly. So then I would say, again, find positive distractions. Block and delete on every social media platform. Don't do the whole
I've done that. You're going to, even if don't, because
No.
I promise you, you're going to find something you don't want to see.
Exactly.
So don't even bother.
And then also, I was in a stage where when I was investing so much, there was a lot of myself that I left on the side. Like I was so distracted that this was in my early days of relationships when I was in my early 20s. I wasn't doing much for myself. A lot of focus was on him and our relationship.
Yeah.
And so I would say, if you're in anything like that, or even if you're just getting into something, even if you're not heartbroken or you're just talking to someone, you're in a relationship, don't forget yourself. Don't leave the peace out of yourself. Don't stop doing what you were doing before you met this person or after you met this person, whatever the situation is. Like, keep doing you, because that's the thing that's going to actually keep you sane and keep you afloat.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid, if you are going through something like that right now, you've got something to invest your energy in and to pour all of that pain and that, because you know what I always say, out of much pain comes so much purpose. So no matter what you think the pain is minuscule or big, just pour your pain into something, and trust me, something great will come out of it. And so that's my thing. Like, you're that girl, you deserve better. And no matter how much you think you and that person belong together, sis, if it's treating you like rubbish, you don't.
There is better out there. I promise you, there is better. Someone will value you.
And the thing is, I'll say that even if that doesn't, because a lot of times, even that comment, I love that comment, but then sometimes I don't like it. But like, there's better out there, because then it's almost like sometimes we come out of one relationship or situationship thinking, oh, do you know, okay, when's the next one coming?
No, it's not even that. It's just as a reminder that don't ever settle for what is meant.
I know what you mean. But it depending on what point you want in your life, sometimes you can have that. It's like, okay, well, it's not going to happen, but I want it to happen for me. And when it doesn't happen, that disappointment comes, or when it doesn't happen at the time.
Well, that's all
so
you're
I would say,
exactly. You're then time with it.
Exactly. So I would say the most important thing is to invest in yourself. You should be, all this self-love languages thing, you should be the first person that's speaking your love language. Like, you shouldn't be dependent on anyone else to speak your love language for you. It should be you first and foremost. Invest in yourself, and things will happen when it's supposed to, not in your time. In God's time. So that's what I'll say, girls.
But this was amazing. Gems. So we had a mini therapy session with Brent.
Oh gosh,
we had,
I feel triggered.
We had, us free in the realness about our situations. But man, we're your sisters.
And one more thing actually I have to say is not to project, like we were talking about. If you've been through a painful situation and someone you have met someone who seems like an upstanding person, try your best to go through, outsource, whether it's counselling or whether it's talking to friends or family about the pain that you've been through previously. Try not to project that onto someone else. It's okay to talk to them about it and talk to the things you've been through, but try not to make them suffer because of someone else's actions. Just be safe, and like we'll say, guard your heart. But
because you can actually like scare people away if you do that.
Exactly.
Like when you're projecting
good people,
all this
good people.
Exactly.
So anyways, ladies, thank you for joining us for another episode.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for season 2.
It's
done now. So
I can't believe it. Wow. Kate, stay connected to our YouTube, our social media channels, our YouTube channel. We will still be putting out content on our social media pages, so still follow us. We've got a lot of things coming up. But thank you so much, ladies.
Bye.